Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to Zero Casualty, where it's all good, low stress gaming. I'm your host, Casual, and today we're gonna do a let's play of Dark Souls. Now I know what you're thinking. Dark Souls is like super hard, super stressful, you name it. But don't worry, it's gonna be alright. We got this. So kick back, relax, and let's play.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Alright guys, if it's been a while and you're returning to Dark Souls, then let me just say, welcome back. Now otherwise, if you're totally brand new, then you get a virtual high five. That's because you still made the choice to play, and I'm sure you had your reasons, whether it was fear, doubt, lack of time, or maybe even due to some kind of disability. But in the end though, you should be proud for taking the plunge and challenging yourselves. And hopefully, you'll stick around till the very end and realize that you too can beat Dark Souls. Now, as for me, I'm not some kind of hardcore player or anything. I'm just a casual guy trying to have a good old casual time. I don't know where all the secret stuff is at, or what needs to be done to complete every side quest, or how to cheese all the bosses. But I'll do what I can. See, the thing is, my videos aren't meant to be 100% walkthrough, but more like a loose guide to help new players along with their journey. Besides, why spoil all the fun, right? I'm gonna let you guys explore and discover things on your own. Just remember to take it easy, take your time, and most importantly, have fun. And speaking of having fun, here we go. The Asylum Demon, aka the tutorial boss. And as you can see, I'm like barely doing any damage to this guy right now. He's not really worth fighting at the moment. So yeah, if I were you, I would just bail out of there. We'll definitely deal with him soon enough. Don't worry, guy. We'll be back. Alright, cool. Bonfire. But yeah, if you do manage to kill him right there, you get a special weapon of this. But the funny thing is, you still have a way to get it later on actually. So fight him now if you want the challenge, but otherwise it's actually a waste of time. And here we are, our class weapon. In this case it's a hand axe. And this is the first weapon that'll actually allow us to do some real damage. And this is precisely why I said earlier that it wasn't worth fighting the tutorial boss at that time, because we were barely doing any damage. But now we can. Alright, looks like someone's over there, so we'll probably have to check that out. And over here, yep, there's an item over there, but we can't get it right now. Don't worry, we'll be back. We'll have to actually come back here to grab that item. So moving on up over here, and oh, alrighty then. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Man, Dark Souls, I swear. I think I die to the trash mobs and environmental hazards more often than I do to the bosses. And I don't mean that to brag or anything. It's not a flex. I mean, I'm being serious. The trash mobs and the environmental hazards are something to take seriously in this game. And this guy fell from that hole, I think.
Oh, you. You're no hollow, hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
And just like that, he passes off the baton over to us, and we begin the hero's journey.
I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
And as you can see, I'm repeatedly interacting with him because I want to make sure that I exhaust his dialogue. That's actually good practice because you want to make sure that the NPCs say everything that they need to say in order to progress their quest lines if they have any. Otherwise, if you don't do that, they're not going to show up at places where you expect them to, and you could potentially fail their side quests. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Oh, and yeah, whenever you interact with a bonfire, it respawns the enemies in the area. That's why we have to kill that guy again. So, another thing to keep in mind. Sweet, the pyromancy flame. Now I can actually cast pyromancies. Now, if your starting class was different, I don't think anything would be there for you to grab. Ah, the good old backstab. I love the sound that makes. Alright, may as well just equip the shield. Not that I really need it, but, you know, may as well just have it. Makes me feel safe. And, gonna get rid of this guy over here. Nice. Backstab. That should finish him off right there. Yup, it did. Sweet. Alright, so beyond this fog door is basically the Asylum Demon who's been waiting for us all this time. And the game is right now telling us to do this thing called a plunging attack, which sounds like a pretty good idea. Alright, so let's step aside. Look down. Drop down. Hit the R1 button and bam! Look at that damage. That's what we were looking for. Alright, so now it's just a matter of killing this dude. You know, toss some fireballs if you got any, you know, for long range attacks. You know, just dodge his attacks because they still hit hard. You know, heal if you need to. Strafe around him. Dodge. Strike when there's an opening. You know, rinse and repeat. You know, whoa. Yeah, that was close. Okay, so I think one last fireball is probably going to kill him off. And yep, it did. Bam, look at that. Dead. Alright, congratulations guys. You beat your first boss in Dark Souls. And if you're struggling, you know, hey look, don't feel bad. This guy is tough, you know. People have died to this boss, and he's no joke, especially if this is your first time playing Dark Souls and you're not used to how the game plays. But, you know, just like I said, just keep at it and you'll definitely be able to kill him. That's the good news, that you were able to beat him. The bad news is there are more bosses to come.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Alright, Firelink Shrine. We're finally here at the main hub. Okay, let's interact with Spawnflyer and let's level up. And there's an NPC there, so we may as well talk to him right now.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess, fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happened. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead? Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit. What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I'd never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all. What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it. What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the Undead Church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the Undead Burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the Undead Burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool. Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions. What now? I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
That's kind of funny. For a guy who was really not up for chatting, he sure had a lot to say if you ask me. Alright, so let's just head on down here and let's see what's up. Ah, yeah, here we go. So this right here is the Firekeeper lady. Yeah, we don't have the Firekeeper soul that's required to reinforce our SS Flask right now. And she doesn't really talk much, so yeah, we can't really interact with her right now. But, you know, it's good to know that she's down there, because we will need her eventually. Alright guys, for my particular build, I'm going to need a very specific weapon. Now, the area I'm heading to is really meant for later levels, so if you're a brand new player, you absolutely do not need to follow this portion of the video. However, if you're curious about the weapon and you want to grab it, feel free to follow along. So, as you can see, I'm heading down this pathway right now. For you veteran Dark Souls players, you can probably already guess what weapon I'm gunning for, just based on where I'm heading. And yep, so I'm gonna keep running over here. I am going to make this right over here, and yep, you guessed it, I am grabbing the almighty Zweihander. Now, I hear it's an excellent weapon. I personally never used it, but we'll find out. As you can see, I'm just dodging enemies right now. I am not engaging them. It's not worth it. I mean, they're not too difficult. You can fight them if you want to try to fight them, but again, it's not worth it right now. Just run past them if you can, and head on all the way back to the bonfire. Alright, so activate the bonfire. That'll resets the enemies to stop them from chasing after you. And there we go. Now, unfortunately, this Zweihander is a weapon I can't use right now. I don't have the stats for it. So I'm gonna have to level up some more before I can actually use it. But the good news is that we finally have the weapon. So whenever we get that level up, we can start using it right away. Yeah, here we go. This portion of the game. Yeah, I remember the first time I was playing Dark Souls, I must have died to this area like a couple times. You know, I was still trying to, get used to the game, understand the flow, the combat. And I learned rather early on that this isn't like Devil May Cry or games like that, where you can just mash buttons and expect combos to pop out of nowhere and your character being all OP and killing things left and right. Nah. This is Dark Souls. And with Dark Souls, you want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? You want to be deliberate with your actions. Because if you're careless, you can get punished. And, regular trash mobs like these zombie looking guys, they can kill you. Especially if you get overrun by a number of them. So if you're brand new, you want to take your time, lure them out one at a time if you can, maybe two at a time, and kill them. And worst case scenario, just run past them. Sometimes it's the only thing you can do. Oh yeah, and watch out for this rat over here. It's not particularly difficult, but if he bites you 2 or 3 times, he will poison you. And as far as I know, at this point of the game, you have no way of curing yourself of that poison. So you're left defenseless, just watching your health trickle down until you die, basically. So if you want to avoid that, and you do get poisoned, run all the way back to the bonfire, and that'll help reset everything, including the debuff. Oh, and here we are, the Undead Burg. Yeah, this is like the first major starting area, I guess. And I ain't gonna lie, I've died here many times. No joke. I mean, yes, these enemies look pretty simple to kill, but again, see that? See how that guy just popped out of nowhere? Yeah, you want to be careful around this area. You want to look around, look at every nook and cranny, make sure that nothing's hiding behind a corner, because they are most likely hiding behind a corner, ready to strike, ready to kill you. Alright, so just take it easy, take your time. So y'all are probably wondering what kind of build I'm going for, and honestly this time around I plan to do something different. In my first playthrough I was doing the typical sword and board, the kind where you hide behind a shield, turtle half the time, strike when there's an opening. It's a viable and beginner friendly build, don't get me wrong, and I highly recommend it if you want to go for it. But I just can't seem to make that jump apparently. Anyway, this time I plan to do a melee pyromancer hybrid. And whoa. Oh yeah. That dude. Something tells me we're gonna have to deal with him later on. Anyway, as I was saying, I gotta be honest with you. This build I'm going for is heavily inspired by Ellen's character. When she and Luke were doing their Dark Souls livestream. The guys from Outside Extra, if y'all are familiar with that YouTube channel. So yeah, that explains why I got this Zweihander and why I'm going for this particular build. Now, speaking of builds, early on, when you're still just trying to get a feel for the game, you don't necessarily have to lock yourself into a build just yet. But over time, you'll want to think about what works for you and what doesn't, because eventually, as you'll notice, the souls required to level up increase dramatically. I mean, it's not unheard of to require 100,000 souls just for one level, and I'm not kidding you. And the last thing you need is to accidentally gimp yourself. I mean, I'm not saying you gotta like min-max or anything, but what I am saying is put points where you think your character will logically benefit from the most. For example, if you like using strong heavy weapons, then most likely it makes sense to level up strength. But otherwise, right now, just focus on survivability, which means leveling up vitality and endurance to increase your health and stamina so you're not so squishy. Later on though, I would highly recommend looking online to learn more about soft caps, weapon grade scaling, infusions, and all that jazz. For a simple action RPG, Dark Souls is actually pretty deep. And in all honesty, I think people tend to struggle with this game because they're either not leveling up correctly or they're not delving into the gameplay mechanics that could otherwise make their lives easier. So, just do a little bit of homework to have a much better time with the rest of the game. Now, earlier you may have noticed that I consumed 2 humanities and then I reversed my hollowing, followed by kindle a bonfire. See, the thing is, you want to kindle the bonfires wherever you go as much as possible. What that does basically is it increases your stock of Estus flasks on hand. So that's obviously a good thing, because if you don't, then what you're going to find out is, let's say you respawn at an area, you're only going to get, let's say 5, maybe even 10 Estus flasks total, when in reality you should be having 15 or 20 depending on how high you reinforced or strengthened that particular bonfire. So, if you want to survive in an area a lot better, then don't forget to kindle the bonfire. Unfortunately though, it does require you to not only be in human form, but to also consume a humanity. So in total, that means consuming at the very minimum 2 humanities. Now later on at the end of the game, you're going to be swimming in a lot of humanities, so it's not going to be much of a problem. But right now, when you're just starting out, it's something you're going to have to manage. Uh-huh. Yeah. Nice try, buddy. We saw you. We saw you hiding over there. Alright, let's move on forward. Okay, let's head on down here. Oof, it's a bunch of them. Alright, not too bad. Whoa. Okay. There we go. Alright, moving on. Climb this ladder over here. Pretty long ladder. Are we there yet? Alright, here we go. Alright, here we are on top of that rooftop, so we should be able to make this jump now. Yep, just like that. Okay. So is there anything here? Was it even worth coming over here? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, there's a stairway up there, so let's check it out. Oh, nice. Here we go. A light crossbow. Unfortunately, it's not going to be very useful for my build. Yeah, but hey, if you need it, there it is. There's a light crossbow for you. And yeah, I saw that guy jump, or going over there rather. Can I jump over here? No, I can't. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna have to go down that path then. And I don't think I'll be able to do a drop down. Well, no, I wasn't able to do a drop down attack. Okay, yeah. Okay, wow. Okay, it looks like I am aggroing everybody. Yeah, see what's happening here, folks? This is not good. Oh my goodness. Oh man, they're out to kill me. Uh-oh. Yeah, wow, that was kind of dangerous too. That was risky. I should not have been healing right there. But look at these guys. These, one at a time. These guys are simple. And oh my goodness, where did it drop down to? Oh my goodness, look at that. They're just tossing fire bombs at me. Okay, leg it, jump, run out of there. Okay, maybe I can kill these guys. Nope, nope, there's just way too many of them. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I'm surprised I'm still alive right now. Okay, just back out. Okay, take a breather, drink an Estus flask. Wait for them, kill them one at a time as much as possible. Nope. Okay, they look like they're bottlenecked through that door, so this actually works to my benefit. And just slowly kill each one of them. Yeah, there we go. See, sometimes you find yourself in a situation like that, but the only thing you can do is just improvise, adapt, overcome. Alright then, so now that shindig is out of the way, let's move on. Hey, by the way guys, if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more content like this, please hit that like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Together, with your help, we can make this channel grow. Alright, cool. Alright, let's get on up here and see what's up. Alright, there we go. One humanity. And we're back to where we were. And I see there's a straggler over here from earlier. Oh, make that 2 stragglers. And this guy loves to toss his fire bombs. Alright, so it looks like we have enough souls to level up, hopefully. So let's go back to the bonfire and check it out. I need just the minimum level to be able to equip this Zweihander. Oh, sweet. Looks like we can do it. Okay, let's confirm that. And yep, everything looks good. Let's just accept this. And let's try to equip the Zweihander. Okay, so yeah, it's basically saying that we cannot one-hand the weapon, however we can two-hand it. Which is fine, because the Zweihander is a type of weapon that is best to be two-handed anyway. So no big deal. But what is a big deal is I feel like I am mid-rolling. As you can see, I don't seem to be rolling as fast as I used to, and I think that's probably because I have too many items equipped right now. So yeah, I got rid of the hand axe, and it doesn't really seem like it's making much of a difference. But you know what? I think for now it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be okay. Alright, so maybe I should elaborate on what I meant by mid-roll. You see, in this game there's like 3 types of dodge speeds, and the community has collectively and affectionately called them fast roll, mid roll, and fat roll. So you could probably guess what they each mean. Fast roll, if you don't have a lot of stuff on, then you can dodge pretty quickly, and it's very noticeable. Mid roll is kind of like what happened to me right now when I decided to put on this Zweihander. I put on a little bit of weight, and so I'm not dodging too fast, dodging too slow. It's very serviceable. Most players will probably find themselves doing a mid roll, and that's fine. However, if you put on a lot of weight and you hit a certain encumbrance level, then you do what they call a fat roll. And again, it's very noticeable. It's like you're like this thing of molasses that just slowly dodges out of the way. And maybe veteran players can get by and pull it off, but if you're a brand new player or you're someone who's not quite proficient at the game yet, I would avoid doing a fat roll. It's going to be very detrimental to your gameplay, and you're probably going to get hit and maybe even die a lot because of it. Unless, however, you're this big, super heavy tank, you have all this heavy armor and shield, then at that point, you're probably not even planning to dodge anyway. You're just going to take in the hits. So that is an alternative. Otherwise, yeah, avoid a fat roll. Do a fast roll, a mid roll, if as much as possible.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale. Things are getting treacherous in these parts. A horrible goat demon has moved in below. And up above, there's that humongous drake and a bull demon too. If you stick around this place, it might end up being your grave. Here, I'm not here to chit-chat. We talk business or we talk nothing at all. Here, I'm not here. We talk... Thank you kindly.
Oh man, creepy fella. But he does sell some good stuff. Especially the residence key and those two boxes. I think they were the repair box and the bottomless box. Those things are definitely worth buying if you can afford them. In this case, I went ahead and bought the residence key because I want to use that to be able to open a couple doors around here. And speaking of which, that's where I'm actually heading right now. So we're actually going to cross this bridge. If you already are far ahead of me, good on you. I hope you're not struggling. But yeah, I'm heading forward right now. But I have to kind of backtrack a little bit because, as you can see, I'm being ambushed around here. So, wow, look at that. I forgot to mention just how strong the Zweihander is. You may have noticed I've just been basically flattening these enemies. But at the same token, it's a very slow weapon. So it's one of those things where you as a player, you're going to have to get used to the speed of the weapon. But I think, I see. Look, I'm loving it. Honestly, I'm loving it. Like the McDonald's signature motto. I'm loving it because it would take 2, sometimes 3 hits to kill these guys. But with this Zweihander, if they're not blocking like this dude right now, like 1 hit, So honestly, and whoa, yeah. Okay, look at that. That guy thought he could get me, huh? Sneaky, sneaky. Nah. That's what you get, buddy. That's what you get for trying to sneak up on me. Yeah, you get smacked in the face with a Zweihander. Alright, cool. Some black fire bombs. They're better than the typical fire bombs. Very useful if you're not a pyromancer and you need something to blow things up. Alright, this is a group of enemies over here, so I'm just gonna lure them out here one at a time. Yeah, normally, I would complain about how Dark Souls has a lot of narrow corridors and stairways such as this, makes the game feel pretty claustrophobic. However, in this case, it can work to your favor. You can lure things one at a time, have them bottleneck through that area, and if you got a strong weapon like my Zweihander, just smack them, kill them right there. So Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It is what it is. And these guys, I don't. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I should have paid attention to where I was rolling. I mean, I for a moment there, I actually thought I just died, but nope, nope, nope. Nah, I was safe. I was safe. All right, let's try that again. And I'll kill this dude. And wow, man, this guy's pretty aggressive. Okay, hold on. Swiggle, swiggle. Okay, get back up there. And and that didn't do a drop down attack. Oh well. Okay, let's get back up here. And oh my goodness. Wow. Dude. Like that seemed like such a random toss, and yet it still hit me. That guy had like the tracking capabilities of an NSA agent. You know, super accurate. Alright, using the residence key over here. Let's check out this place, see what's got to offer. Okay, nothing in that corner, so let's move on around here. Alright, cool. Chest. And we got a gold pine resin. Awesome. Okay, so gold pine resin, or any of the resins, they basically temporarily enchant your weapon. In this case, the gold pine resin gives you lightning damage to your weapon. It doesn't last very long. The buff, you know, I think it's like 60 seconds or something like that. So usually you want to reserve those resins for boss fights or enemies that are very, very weak to that particular buff that you're using. So yeah, I'm not going to use it right now, but you know, later on you'll see me use it. Alright, so let's move on up here. And, oh! Whoa! Oh man, that was close. Yeah, that guy thought he could get me, huh? Alright then. Yeah, just beware of those traps, I tell you. And, oh yeah, wow. Look at this dude. Black Knight. These guys drop some pretty rare weapons. Very rare and useful weapons, I should say. Let me see if I can smack him with a Spyhander. Yep. And, yeah, I mean, you know, that was wishful thinking on my part if I could actually, like, kill him in one hit. But it looks like I did some decent amount of damage, I think. Yeah, so I'm just gonna lure him out of there because that's a very tight spot and not very conducive to an actual duel, if you know what I mean. Oh, so here we go. Alright, so you see what's happening here, folks? This is what we call attack tennis, where the enemy swings one way and then you swing back, and the enemy swings again and then you retaliate by swinging back. You know, it's just like back and forth, you know, trading blows kind of thing, until there's one person left standing. And hopefully that person is you. Alright, methinks one more hit should do it. Bam! Could not handle the almighty Spyhander. Alright, so it looks like I have a lot of souls on hand, so yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to the bonfire and go ahead and spend them. See, that's the thing about this game. You're better off spending your souls as much as possible, as often as possible. It's good practice to do that. And the reason for that is because if you die, then there's this risk where you have to go back and grab your souls, because should you die along the way and fail to grab those souls, then you would permanently lose them. And I could tell you from experience, and anybody else who's played this game can tell you, that it's one of the worst feelings ever, you know, especially if you're hoarding a lot of souls. It makes you feel like you've lost all that time and effort, and it's very demoralizing. So better to relieve yourself from that stress and that burden. Spend your souls so that way you don't have to worry about it. Now later on, once you get into like higher level areas, you'll be able to find farming spots where you can essentially farm for souls for, you know, as long as you like and as much as you like. So until you get to that point, right now it's very important to save your souls and not waste them. And so that's why I'm saying that, like, as often as possible, spend them so that way you're not gonna lose them should you find yourself in a very bad situation where you're just constantly dying and constantly losing all those souls that you've been gathering. So technically I could run past all these guys, but from my experience that usually doesn't end well. For some reason the starting area is really difficult to just run past everything. So yeah, unfortunately I'm gonna have to kill these guys once again, even though I've already done it. You know, it's just the nature of the game, especially when you hit that bonfire, everything respawns. It is what it is. But you know, I am getting practice with my weapon, which I like it, but I'm still just trying to get used to the speed, still trying to get used to the range. You know, so don't mind me if I miss. It's gonna happen a lot, trust me. But it is what it is. Yeah, like that. You saw that? Totally missed the guy. Alright, here we go again. I'm gonna lure these guys out of there and just slowly kill them one at a time. I mean, for me, I just find it a very effective strategy. You could just go in there and kill all of them in that same spot, but for me, this works. And that's how the game is, you know? It's like, you do what you feel works best for you, you know? Don't feel like someone else tells you that this is one way to do it or that's the other way to do it and that's the only way to do it. No. Do what works for you. Because at the end of the day, all what matters is that you were able to get through the game. And speaking of, you might have noticed that I'm just like literally just pressing one button this entire time ever since I got the spy hander, which is the R2. It's a strong attack when it's two-handed like this. Now believe me, there are other movesets, and right now it might seem a little boring and very monotonous, but if I'm gonna be honest with you, I love it. It's very effective. It's very straightforward. It's very simple, and it gets the job done. And like I said, ultimately, that's all what matters. Alright, the blue tier stone ring. It's really not that effective. It's really not the best ring to have on, but it's better than nothing. And I technically do have an extra ring slot available. And whoa, look at that guy. Where did he come from? Yeah, that's what you get, buddy. Yeah, wow, it looks like he wants to tag along. Oh man. This looks so sad. Good old Dark Souls physics. But yeah, as I was saying, there are better rings that we can equip down the line. So that's why I just put that one on right now, because I technically had a ring slot available. And that's locked. We're gonna open that later on. Alright, so let's move on. Barrels. More barrels. Well, this looks like a boss fight arena. Man, I can only imagine the players who played this game for the first time, especially when the game just came out and they were not expecting it, you know, but we know better. Alright, kill these guys, because if you don't, you're gonna have a very bad time. Alright, cool. Alright, grab that light crossbow and just climb down or drop down, whatever you want to do. And let's let's go and engage this boss. Swiggle if you need to. Alright. Let's do this. Alright, cool. He's finally dropped down. Okay, so let's sprint all the way back to the tower, climb up this ladder, because, I mean, look how fast this dude is gaining distance. Alright guys, so what did we learn from the tutorial boss? That's right, plunging attack. Boom! There you go, look at that. Took away half his health. Honestly, you can do this maybe 1, 2, 3 more times depending on your weapon, and that would definitely kill the boss. But from my personal experience, I've died more times trying to pull that off, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna fight this dude in his own terms on this bridge, and that's cool because look at that damage from our weapon. You know, this Zweihander, in my opinion, is pretty OP. So we got this. It's all good, man. We could totally kill this dude. Bam, look at that. You know, toss the fireball just because, why not? You know, I'd reckon 1 or 2 more hits, this guy's gonna go down and... Oh! Alrighty then. Okay, looks like the Taurus Demon couldn't handle the almighty Zweihander, so he decided to yeet himself off the bridge. Nah, man, honestly, that's a gift. That's a gift from the game. See, when the game decides to give you a gift, you don't reject that, you don't deny that. Nah, what you do is you embrace that. And you say, Dark Souls, thank you. Thank you. And then you move on. Because honestly, the game doesn't give you a lot of gifts like that, you know? So, this is one of those few times when it decided to say, hey, you know what? Dude, you deserved it. And if you got this far, then you know what? You definitely deserved it. No joke. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Alright, let's head down here first. Oh look, it's our buddy, Solaire, our sun bro. Hey dude, what's going on? Staring at the sun as usual, eh?
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind. Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent. Oh, hello there. The sun is if only I...
Alright, cool. We can finally do some nice good old jolly cooperation. Gonna give this sun a nice gesture. Well, it's more like a come at me bro gesture. Whatever works. Alright, cool. We're finally crossing that bridge. What I like to call the Bridge of Death. Okay, and you're gonna see why in a moment. Okay, just move forward a little bit and then move back and then wait a few seconds, because as you'll see, boom, the dragon that we saw earlier, yeah, he's back. Alright, so you want to sprint forwards, but don't go all the way down just yet. What you want to do is make a right to this alcove that you see right here in a moment. Okay, you see that? Yeah, just go down the steps and then wait it out a bit. Okay, so you do have a choice to fight this dragon or not. In my personal opinion, it's not worth fighting the dragon. Okay, first off, he hits hard. He has a lot of health. So, you know, that already, it's like the challenge is not worth it. Secondly, you could cheese him using bows and arrows. And you can look online to find out how to cheese him using that method. But you could potentially find yourself spending like a good half hour just trying to do it. You know, it's so monotonous. It's so boring. Again, not worth it. And last but not least, he drops what I consider an overrated weapon. It's strong at the beginning, but it won't last you till mid-game anyway. So, again, not worth it. So, if I were you, yeah, TLDR, just avoid the dragon. It's not worth it. Boom, look at that Spyhander. Oh, look at this guy trying to heal. No, dude. No, you can't heal. Only I can heal. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? I just realized I'm not supposed to be down here. I think I missed a turn. But, you know what? That's okay. That's cool. We can fight these rats over here. And in my opinion, if you can, and fight the rats, kill them, because they have a chance of dropping humanities. You know? So yeah, long story short, these rats, they're farmable for humanities if that's something that you need. Alright guys, so in regards to the Taurus Demon, you know, the boss that we just fought, look, I completely understand if you're struggling to fight him. He is a hard boss, and it doesn't help that the arena is not exactly the best place to fight a big guy like that. But you can do it. If it helps, do the plunging attack several times, maybe 3 to 6 times, and that should finish him off. Okay? Just remember that you are no longer in the tutorial zone. You're in the main part of the game. And, you know, honestly, there are people that have quit playing this game fighting against the Asylum Demon. Yes, the tutorial boss. There are people that have quit there. But you know what? You didn't. Not you. You kept going. And you are here with us now. And that's something to be proud of. You know, that's something to be excited about. So, you know, just keep at it. Keep going, guys. You can do it. By the way, you see this area we're at right now? This is the shortcut back to the bonfire that we rested at earlier in the game. Pretty cool, huh? Alright guys, so I think this is a nice place for us to stop. You know, we did good. You guys did good. Look, if you made it this far, good on you. Congratulations. You should be proud of yourselves. You know, like I said earlier, there are people that have quit at the earlier parts of the game. But not you. Here you are. Okay? So just keep at it. And don't give up. I know you can do this. Alright guys, so I'll be back here next time with another episode of Let's Play Dark Souls. In the meantime, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Alright, cool. See ya.